huge breaking coming in. China has responded. A first response coming in from China after the clashes. As India gives a fitting reply to the Chinese troops, pushes the Chinese troops back the status quo. Here, China now downplaying this attempt, calling this entire situation as stable now. Says it's all stable. The situation is currently stable at the Indian border. This is the first response from China, really not divulging any details. And of course, acknowledging their fault, and that's expected that China wouldn't really take up responsibility for what they've done, and this has been the face of China ever since. Let me cut across to Abhishek Balla for more on that. Abhishek, China now responding for the first time, a response coming in saying the situation is now stable on the Indian border. That's precisely the only line said by China so far. Who has spoken? Where does this statement come?
Well, once again, a very cryptic response on unexpected lines, Nabila. This is what China does whenever there is, a situation like this. They would always look to normalize these kind of clashes and face-offs. That's been the pattern, that's been the trend. China doesn't want to send a message as if there's a problem on ground, even though, things have turned really volatile. And even in eastern Ladakh, after every face-off, a clash or any untoward incident, we've heard similar kinds of responses from the Chinese side. So this is nothing new. This is the basic protocol that China follows. Normalize the problems to show as if nothing much has happened, and this is how the salami slicing continues. This time in Yangtse, which is obviously not a new disputed area. This is a spot which is a known flashpoint for many years now. And in fact, what irritates China, especially in this sector, is that this is one of those disputed spots where the Indians are in control. And that's what China has been trying to do, trying to change status quo here. This time, things got out of hand. Face-offs have happened here in the past, but this time it turned ugly. There was stone pelting from the Chinese side. There was a build-up over the last 15 to 20 days. Both sides have been ramping up their infrastructure, their military facilities, and perhaps that was the reason that triggered this ugly clash on 9th December.
All right. Abhishek, if you could give us some more clarity on the kind of injuries that the Chinese side have incurred. Of course, there's really no way to substantiate it in terms of a statement coming in from China. We can only expect them to downplay it. But the Indian side has very clearly said that they've given a fitting reply to the PLA, and that there could be injuries extensively to the Chinese soldiers as far as broken limbs. This is what we hear. Give us a little more on what the Indian Army has said on the attack on Chinese troops for infringing the border area.
Well, the Indian Army has said that there are injuries on both the sides, and this is what you would expect a professional force to say. When two armies, soldiers of two armies come to blows, there are fist fights, there's stone pelting, then there are injuries bound to happen. Nobody can escape an injury in a situation like this when troops from both sides in big numbers come face to face and get involved in a fist fight, in a scuffle. So it would be rather foolhardy for the Chinese to deny any injuries because that's obviously not possible. And we don't really expect a transparent kind of a response from the Chinese. It did not happen in Galwan. It took them months to acknowledge that there were deaths on their side,
right.
And when they did so, they said that there were 4. So in a similar kind of trend, we can expect the Chinese to come up with some statement months later that they had injuries to their soldiers as well. So this is nothing new. China always likes to play down such incidents.
Unlikely of China to really reveal what's been the injury on their end or the loss on their side. But nonetheless, what we know now for sure is that the Indian troops have given a fitting reply to China.